Hey, real quick before we get into this video, this match is from a live stream that I did earlier this week with Michael, which you can find the full VOD linked in the description. It's about 3 hours of Star Deck gameplay if you guys want to check it out. Also, if you guys are new to the channel, please make sure to hit that like and subscribe. We're going to be making a lot of Gundam content, and I don't want you guys to miss it. And then lastly, if you guys want to see the Star Decks in general, you can go to my website, Eggman Events, to the Deck Builder section, which is again linked in the description. You can go to the Gundam section, go to Structure Decks, and we have all 4 Structure Decks that exist in the game right now. And also, if you click on them, you can see the full 50 with ratios. You can make proxies by pressing the gear and pressing the proxy button. And then lastly, what you can do is that we have the entirety of set 1 on the website. It just got dropped this week too, so you can find out all the cards that exist in the next couple weeks when the set 1 drop happens as well. So make sure to check it out if you haven't already. Thank you for watching this video and enjoy. All right, we've got me on the left with Star Deck 2. This is the Star Deck with the Wing Gundam and Tallgeese. And we've got Michael on the right with Star Deck 4, the Seed Strike 1, the one with the Aegis Gundam as well as the Ale Strike Gundam. We don't have anything on our first turn, which isn't unusual. I'm passing it back to Michael. Going to play out the Mobius for 1 there and pass it back to us. We're currently at level 2 with 2 resources. We're going to play out the St. Gabriel Institute, which is a little bit early or kind of like a little bit greedy since, you know, we did have to replace the EX base, but we did get a hero to the top of our deck, and we're going to pass it back to Michael here. So currently it's at level 3 with the EX resource. Going to spend 2 resources to play the Mobius 0 and then have the Mobius Vanilla attack into our base, taking 1 damage and going down to 4. Currently at level 3, we're going to play out the Wing Gundam Bird mode, get that EX resource, so that Relina right there. And we're currently now at level 4. I'm going to pass it right back to Michael. Currently at level 4 as well with the EX resource. Going to spend 1 to play out the Salis base. This is going to let him get an activate main to rest it and give something a +1 AP. So now I'm a little bit worried about my base. And then also going to use the Mu La Flaga to link here. We're going to attack 3, and then we are explaining just the timing for the Visalis. So it's not an activate action, it's an activate main. So we do let him walk it back and take the 4 damage onto the base and getting the removal for it. And now the Mobius is able to attack into the shields, hit the simultaneous fire, and then finishing the turn using 2 resources, including the EX resource, and play out the Strike Gundam. Get a draw 1, discard 1, get some good cycle there, and put another base into his trash there. So back to me, we're currently at level 5 with the EX resource, and we do kind of have to start answering this board. We're going to attack into the Mobius, taking 1 damage on our Wing Gundam, and shout outs to Michael for helping me keep track of this damage. I'm so bad at remembering to do that. Well, we got Gundam Sandrock, we have the link with the quad trade, get the good trade into the Mobius as well. So we're currently a 4 AP, 1 HP after that trade, and we're passing it back to Michael. So back to level 4 since he did use the EX resource last turn. And deciding on what to do, we're just going to trade with the Strike into our Sandrock. And then looks like he doesn't really have much of a follow-up for it, unfortunately. We do have the Aegis Gundam, which can be good for some like later game trading. And then also the Jin, a good 2/2, and pass it back to me. So this does let me, set up a bit of a board now, I find. We're currently at level 6 with 5 resources and 1 EX resource, and we're going to play out 2 copies of Heavy Arms. So we've got units, but we don't really have a lot of like good links from what it is, but the Heavy Arms can be helpful for getting some good removal and some good interaction if Michael's able to go wider next turn. So attacking with the Jin here. We do have the Wing Gundam, and I was really contemplating about playing the Corsissa base that you just saw flashed from hand, with a feeling that maybe Wing Gundam was in there or something good, but we didn't end up doing it, and I do feel like we were a little bit punished. But I did feel like since they could get to a 5 AP with their own base out there, it just didn't make sense to play out the card. But we do get the Zex Marquise from our shields though, so going down to 2, but we do have a good pilot in our hand. Going to play out the Striker pack, so that will let him play a 4/2 blocker. Could also be a 2/4 token, but decided to go onto the 4/2 play. Another Mobius 0 out and passing it back to us. So we're kind of in a scary spot. Like Michael's kind of presenting a win for next turn, so we do have to start interacting with it. We're attacking into the Jin and deciding if they want to block with it or not, and decide to just trade. So we do get rid of that. Wing Gundam finally goes down. We do have our 2 heavy arms as well, so we are going to play out the Tall Geese, and we do have the Zex Marquise in our hand, so that will let us attack. And then there is also the During Link effect, so if we KO something while we're attacking into it or destroy something, we do get that card draw. So deciding to get the block, getting 4 damage on our Tall Geese, but we do get the card draw there. And then we're going to have to decide how we're going to do the rest of this. So we're going to attack into the Aegis. That's going to get an additional 1 damage on the Mobius 0. Attack 3 into the base and pass from there. Oh, sorry, it will not. We do not have a pair underneath it. My apologies. Yeah, we need a pair for the heavy arms effect. Not that it really matters. I think that we're okay not doing that 1 extra damage to the Mobius 0. So, but again, we are like teetering on life here. We only have the 2 shields here. They are going to play out the Archangel here, not before giving the Mobius 0 that 1 extra AP. So currently it's a 3 AP. Not that I think it matters that much in this scenario, but could present like a good trade into the Sandrock. But yeah, you want to get rid of that Tall Geese, because if it survives, I get to do 2 attacks with that 4. And playing out another Archangel, and this is kind of good news for me. It just kind of shows that Michael doesn't really have that many good cards, but he is able to play out the Striker pack, deciding if he wants the 2/4 or the 4/2 blocker here. End up deciding to play out the 2/4 Launcher Strike Gundam. And we're going to pass from there. All right, we are at, I think we're at level 7, actually. We're pretty healthy with how many resources we have, and now we just kind of need things to do with it. So we are going to play out the Corsissa base here, go down to 1 shield, but it will let us generate a 4/2 token. I didn't have the other token available, so it's just a 4/2. It does not have blocker, so don't think that it does. We also will get a pair with the Gundam heavy arms with the hero, so it does make it a 5 AP, so we are able to attack into the base here. We're playing out another heavy arms and a Tragos, and honestly, like, we've kind of stabilized. If Michael doesn't have any big scary threats, he can just lose to the amount of attacks that we're presenting at this point. So currently we do have 4 attacks. He has 2 shields, but also a blocker, so that can mean that, you know, he can get out of another attack, but he needs some kind of combination here. So we got Aegis Gundam. Not terrible, but we don't really have that many cards that it can interact with. And passing from there, yeah, nothing really else to do. So kind of good news for us. And we're going to see how wide we're going to go with this board. But we can put a lot of pressure. And unironically, if we have like a link, we could win here too. All right, going to block here. I should take 2 damage. You guys can call me out for it. I am so bad at putting dice on my cards. I'm just so not used to it because every other card game I play does not have passive damage like this. But both of these heavy arms should have 2 damage on them. They just don't. So my apologies on that. We are attacking with the token there, getting the Aegis, and then we're playing out another Tall Geese, and then not 1, but I think, no, yeah, just 1 copy of the Magnetic Trooper, and we got the 1 base there. So it's going to be pretty tricky for Michael to be able to press through this damage. We don't have any blockers outside of the 1/1, but this is, I think, a pretty good spot for us. So it's got the Kira, just a pair, not a link here, but we'll be able to do 3 damage. Technically, he would be able to do like a double trade into both of them, essentially, since you know, they're both technically 3 HP, but I'm going to be honest, if they can't get rid of the Tall Geese here, it's just going to be game over based on the number of cards in there. So we're just going to start attacking in. It's going to be a Magnok getting down to 1 attack with the token. Going to get the Striker pack to play out a blocker, but we do have the Siege Ploy in hand. It doesn't matter. So I do apologize for a little bit of sloppy ending there where we didn't get the dice on the cards themselves, but you know, I think we had it quite a few ways, and we ended up winning with our Wing Gundam deck, even though Wing Gundam was just hanging out in the shield. So that was the game there. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Shout out again to Michael for playing with me. If you guys want to see the full VOD, it's linked in the description. And we're really kind of encroaching on the full release of this game as well. This is probably going to be the last Star Deck game that we do, just with the vanilla Star Deck. So let me know what other decks you guys want to see in the future. Thank you guys again for watching, and we'll catch you all next time.